Hello and welcome to Movember 2024, week 2. This is all about understanding stress. But before that, how did you go with week 1? Celebrating masculinity, celebrating all of you as a man, celebrating the qualities about you that make it so good to have you in the world. I trust you were able to come up with a great topic and a great list and have a good celebration during the week. And ladies, how did you go? Celebrating the men in your life and encouraging them, spurring them on with the qualities that you appreciate about them. Continue that going. Continue it always, because it's a great thing to do for men and really, really positive. Movember 2024, week 2. Let's get started. Understanding stress.
Great to be in week 2 now of Movember 2024. So glad to have you with us, and I trust you'll learn something about stress today as we look at understanding stress and what we can do to make it more manageable and to make life all that more interesting and enjoyable, of course. Let's look at some facts about stress. First of all, from a survey by the Australian Bureau of Statistics, 2020 to 2021, 43.7% of people were experiencing stress. So about half the population experienced one or more stresses, and that's people over the age of 18. When we look at men and women, women tend to experience a little bit more stress than men, not much. They're 45% compared to 42.2%. Just a little bit more, but ultimately, we're all feeling stress. It's not something that's a gender-oriented thing. When we look at age difference, younger people in the survey experienced about 48.3%, and this is for younger people, 18 to 24 in this survey, 48.3, that's a little bit stronger. So the younger people tend to experience it perhaps the most in the population. Looking at the elderly or the seniors amongst us, the 65 plus, we're looking at around 34.8%. So it does go down over time. I'm wondering if that's life experience or mindset or perhaps just circumstances at the time. Interesting stats, though. A recent survey with younger people, though, those that under the age of 30 experienced a lot of stress. It's quite a considerable thing, and a lot of that is financial stress from the times. And when you consider we've had the last 4 years and the dramas with that, and in Melbourne here, a couple of years of lockdowns, that hasn't added to it easily. So younger people, hang in there. Certainly talk to someone, talk to me if you need to, and we'll support you through it, get you through it. But it's not an easy time, and we just hang in there. There's support and help around if you need it. What is stress? As we look at stress and we talk about it, you hear it all the time. Oh, I'm really stressed about that. Or this is a stressful situation. Gee, look at those people. They're stressed out. What is it? What is it about stress? Can you think of a definition yourself about stress that might explain it for you? Here's one. Stress can be defined as a state of worry or mental tension caused by a difficult situation. Yeah, that's it in a nutshell. Looking at the World Health Organization, they've got a bit broader definition. Stress is a natural human response that prompts us to address challenges and threats in our lives. Everyone experiences stress to some degree during their life. This is probably a good one, where we see that stress is, first of all, a natural human response. It is natural. They've learned that stress is one of those things that's programmed into our brain, and probably a generational thing passed down, that it's there as a baby. It's there in our brain already to protect us. Whether we can do anything as a baby, I'm not sure, but it's there. And then we learn more about it and are able to manage it a lot better. But it's not something that we have to pick up or get taught about. It's something that is there already. And everyone experiences stress, and stress can be good. It can be helpful for some people to do their job, for example, or to get into action. That little bit of stress, not too much, can help them in a particular task. When we look at stress and what happens, particularly with stress that gets to a higher level of stress, our body knows that it's not a good thing for us to be carrying all that stress. And so it will go into a warning sign or an alert mode that tells us, hey, this is not good. You better do something about this. So the systemic nervous system is something that is there that will alert us to higher levels of stress. And what it is actually, you will have heard the terms flight or fight mode, and that's where the level of stress or the danger, whether it be external or an internal thing, has gotten to the point where we need to do something about it. So we're going to either fight, we're going to fight and eliminate that stress, or we're going to run like mad and just get out of here. Run as fast as you can. And in order to do that, our body will do certain things to react, to make sure that we've got enough energy and the best opportunity to be able to do that fight or flight. So what happens is our eyes, generally they'll enlarge, so you've got good vision. Our heart will increase the heart rate to give more oxygen to the rest of the more important parts of the body. The lungs are going to relax a little bit, again, to give more oxygen. The digestive tract and the digestive system will slow down, even almost stop. What the body recognizes is that in stress, and this is only a moment, a short time, the body needs as much energy as it can. And in order to do that, it will take energy from certain systems. One of those systems is going to be the digestive system. And so our stomach will literally shut down very much, and all that energy will be diverted. The liver will release and activate energy stores, so there's more energy for the body. So as you can see, the body is doing a self-mechanism thing to protect itself, to give it as much energy and oxygen as possible, to give it the best opportunity to survive the threat that's coming on. There's one more thing that I've read about that happens within the brain as well. Because the brain uses energy, of course, we want to save energy or direct it. There's parts of the brains that will actually cease for a brief moment, and our thinking will be very limited, so we can either just focus on the fighting or the flight to get out of that danger. It's just another one of those energy diversions, and that's why you might have experienced in times of high stress, you find it hard to think. Well, yeah, that's it. And until you sort of are able to relax a bit more, then your thinking comes back. And that all happens through another system. But just still on the systematic nervous system there's a hormone called cortisol that's released in greater levels. So cortisol is released in smaller quantities naturally through the body. It's a hormone there that has a good task. When higher levels of stress come, though, it will increase and it will give more energy to the body so it is able to fight. The danger is that cortisol can be harmful to the body at high levels for longer periods of time. So this high-level stress is something you don't want to have going on for too long. You want to get it there, get the task done, and move on, relax, and get nice and calm to bring that cortisol back to the normal level. So in today's society, though, we have a lot of stress, and even some people are getting into that danger zone. And it's something that we really need to be mindful of and be able to manage more effectively. And that's what we're going to look at a little bit today. A second system in our nervous system is called the parasympathetic nervous system. And this one is very much on relaxing, on bringing down the stress level to normal levels, or even eliminating as much as possible, getting the body back to a normal working level. So a great definition from this, from the Cleveland Clinic there. Your parasympathetic nervous system is a network of nerves that relates to your body after periods of stress or danger. It also helps to run life-sustaining processes like digestion during times of when you feel safe and more relaxed. So this is a great system because it's not just after stress and danger. You can actually activate this system anytime, the parasympathetic nervous system. When you do some meditation or relax, or you just calm your body, this is really kicking in, and you get a lot of great benefit from it. And you see that digestion, it gets the digestion all happening again. And in the work of mind-body eating that I've been in for, about 10 years now, one of the things we do is get people to relax before they have a meal. And that way their digestion is working at its best. Just something that is worth noting for if you're looking at weight loss or managing your weight. That's something to keep in mind. Be nice and relaxed. Move away from your work desk or areas of stress, and be mindful on the food that you're eating. For our purpose today, stress, this is a good task, and there's a couple of good methods that we can use to activate this. When we look at sources of stress, there's a lot of them, internal and external. So external refers to what's around us, so anything out in the world there. Internal is referring to what's in our mind and what we're thinking and what's in here. So the stress may not be external, it could be going on in here. The issue could be a work issue, it could be a finance issue, particularly at the moment with high interest rates, a relationship issue, it could be a death in the family or a family friend. It could be a traffic issue. I'm sure you've experienced some of that, and we all hear of the road rage that goes on. And it could be just a specific situation that you may not be dealing with all that well. Someone else might, but somehow you're struggling and it becomes an issue for you. There's one more issue that I'd like to bring out here, though. Community shame. This is one that's specifically for men, okay? Shame is something that we may not actually be aware of or even have thought about it in this way. What it is when men are put down, are made feel less than they are, and it's something that we just don't like. We can get removed from a group or something. That's a shaming thing as well. In its worst case, what it intends to do, particularly with a lot of the insults and stuff, is identifies us with the women. And in that unresourceful men's circles, that is seen as the biggest shame. Really, we can't be seen as a woman. And that's where that like phrases such as, be a man, grow up or something, grow up or grow some balls even. Crybaby, you might get referred to. That person's just having a good old cry, a good old whinge. It's a put down. It's a shaming phrase. A real man in the social media, you see all of that. A real man would do this. A real man does this. That's a shamed phrase. That's shaming men. It's making them out to be something that they're apparently not. And putting men down in this way is just not on. Do not use those phrases. That is one of the most damaging things that you can do for men. If you want to do something for men, if you want to get them motivated in a particular way, then what you got to do is think differently. Think about it. Help them out. They may not have the confidence. They may need some extra training. They may not even be aware of something. Help them out. Don't put them down. Last week we looked at king, warrior, magician, lover. Okay, the king. Okay, when we use terms like this, it is not being the king. The king wants to see everyone prosper and grow. When you use these terms, you're definitely not looking at them to grow. Maybe you're sort of trying to get them motivated. Maybe you are, but don't use these terms. There are different ways of doing it. Be kings. Encourage them in a positive way. Help them to see. Explain in a more positive way. Don't put them down. I think one of the most damaging things we can do as men is put them down. And that's a big one for women too. And I'll be mentioning this next week in our relationships video. What we're doing to men in relationships, what is unhelpful for men, and how can we encourage them even more. So there you go, community shame. Be aware of it. Incidentally, a book where I've gotten a lot of information from, this is a good book that I enjoyed reading, Stress Relief for Men by Dr. Jed Diamond. He's a doctor, and some good information on stress on this. And interestingly enough, he mentions this shaming thing as one of the biggest things that to help to really be unhelpful for men. Just another book too, while I'm on the books. A good one I was referred to recently, To Be a Man by Robert Augustus Masters. There he is. He's a psychologist, and he's just a good book. And I was surprised to read that this one also goes into shame a lot. So, gentlemen, shame, get it off. Get rid of these phrases. Learn how to encourage everyone in a positive way. Okay, I think I've said enough on that one, hey? Looking at the stress and unstress process, how does it all work? How does it all go together? Well, look at the stress itself. First of all, there's a situation, and it could be internal, it could be external. What happens then is that we then, in our mind, attach a meaning to it. Now, we may be conscious of this, or it might just happen automatically. We add a meaning to it. What does it mean? And then with that will come an emotion. And we can choose an emotion, or it just happens automatically. What are you feeling in this? So, a stressful situation. Let's look at a couple of examples. First of all, a job interview tomorrow. Okay, so it's not now, it's happening tomorrow. So it's all internal, this one. And you might be thinking about it, can't take your mind off it. The biggest meaning you're placing on it is, oh, I'm not the best, and so I won't get the job. And the emotions that come with that you're feeling, you're scared, you're worried, or you're nervous, okay? It's a real stress thing, and you're feeling that anxiety with it about this event that is not even today, it's happening tomorrow. Another one, public speaking. Probably the most scariest thing that people can do is public speaking, and very few people get into it for that reason. Those generally that do are trained and helped through what they need to know. Public speaking. Now, what is that going to mean in your brain? It could mean, will they like me? Do I have the right notes? Have I got too much? Will I be on time? Will I be okay up there, or will I freeze and lose my way? All sorts of things of meaning can go on in your brain. Then there's the emotion that goes with that, and you could be fearful, you could be nervous, and you could even do that freezing thing as you go on stage and present your speaking topic. This is one of the most scariest things. Now, how could you turn these around? You could choose to look at these a bit differently. With the public speaking one, think about not yourself, think about the audience and think about them. What a wonderful day they're going to have. I'm going to have a great time talking to people and meeting a lot of people. So turn it around a little bit. And then the feelings that come with that could be a sense of little bit excitement, help balance out that that positive and negative and reduce the stress for it too much. Remember what I said about the brain being closed down if it gets too much? We get into that systematic nervous system. It will shut your brain down, and that's where the freezing bit comes in. In a job interview tomorrow, start thinking of it a bit differently. Perhaps I'm going to just have a great time talking to a bunch of really good people, learning about an organisation that I could be part of, and keeping it at that. There could be lots of things the way you could turn this around. And that would, again, balance out the feelings that you can have. You can choose to be excited. You can choose to be worried, choose to be nervous. No, you know what? I'm going to attack this. I'm going to be confident. I'm going to be really just go in there. It'll be a bit scary, sure, but we're going to have a good time. So consciously working through it like that is a simple way, and it can work wonders for you if you're able to do it. Give it a go. See what you find out. Managing stress. So there's a number of different ways that we can, having just started that with that little example. Each of us reacts differently to stress, and sometimes changing your thinking might help. Might help. At times it won't be helpful for you. Other activities that can help is exercise. It gives you a change of scenery. Get out, go for a walk, get oxygen flowing through you. That can help and calm you down. Sleep. Make sure you're getting enough sleep, because being that little bit more tired will add a bit more stress. And you've got enough stress already. Perhaps this is just something that you can do easily to help relax you, help put you and help your body repair as well. Eating a well-balanced diet. Now, food is important for our body. A well-balanced diet will give it what it needs. And if you're not getting good food on a regular basis, then that can put you into a bit of stress and just add to your stress as well. So eat that good diet. Make sure you're getting good food. Make a conscious decision about what you're going to do, what you're going to eat. Plan your meals out if you need to, but make it manageable that you're able to do every day. Deep breathing exercises. These can be fun, very quick, and you can implement it just to get oxygen through to your system. So the 5x5 is just simply 5 breaths in, and then 5. I'm sorry, I said 5 breaths in. I meant count to 5. I'm breathing in, and then count to 5, breathing out. And then you do that 5 times. And by the end of it, you'll have some good oxygen. You'll probably begin to feel a little bit more relaxed too. Breathing is really, really important. Talking about it with a trusted friend. Of course, if you've got someone who you have confidence in, great. Go and talk to them and just unload your mind, okay? Get it out of your mind and into a different space with someone. And they may have some wisdom for you as well that might be able to help you. You don't want a person who's just going to agree with you and this and that, oh, that's terrible, whatever, not that sort of person. You want a trusted friend, perhaps someone older who's had a lot more life experience. Get some coaching, okay? Similar sort of vein, someone like myself, happy to talk to you, happy to chat with you. Gratitude is really good. Being thankful and having that releases all different emotions. You focus on them. It's a lot more positive and can relax you a lot more. And finally, limit social media, the news and some TV. TV is just trash these days. The news is, I reckon below the line now as far as beneficial. One thing about TV and live audiences and shows and everything, they need ratings. They need bums on seats, people who are going to give them a good reason for making the program in the way that they do. If they don't have bums on seats, then, the program will get wiped. one good way to make sure and get people interested, particularly in things like the news, is to dramatize it, make it more of a thing than perhaps it really is. And when you listen to the language patterns of newsreaders and the way they've communicated it, it's very interesting. Limit that. Social media, well, I don't need to say much about that. Be careful with that one. Don't fill your head with hours of swiping. Get out and do something. Get some goals together. Get some things. Get some tasks. What would you like to do? What could you do? This is where we want to get to, and moving towards the last week of creating an extraordinary life. Okay, these are some of the little tricks that we'll go into. Excellent. I trust that is really beneficial for you. There is a couple of other things I want to go into in a little bit of a different area, and that's in the area of energy medicine. And I already mentioned the book Stress Relief for Men by Dr. Jed. He has listed 4 energy medicine examples. Now, it's a bit new for a doctor to be emphasizing energy medicine. Well, he was really cool. He said, look, I'm looking into these. I've been interested in them, but only if there's valid research and tests and conclusions with it. So I feel confident with this. I'm going to give you 2 of the 4 that he's got in the book. One is heart coherence. Heart coherence is from a company called HeartMath Institute. I've been following them for about 20 years. They've been going for about 30 years, researching the relationship between the heart and the brain. And believe it or not, the heart has got brain cells in it, and that's fairly recognized now. And there's a great communication between heart and brain. And what he's done with the HeartMath Institute, they've measured the brain waves, the coherence, if you like, they call it, between the brain and the heart, looking at the neurology of it. And in a combined way, they've been able to make these graphs. And the first one shows when you've got frustration. There's frustration, it could be anger, it could be impatience, it could be all sorts of things. But it's generally on that more negative side of things. And what it does, instead of getting a nice common wave between them, they get this jiggledy wave like the one up the top there. And that's a wave that is just showing that not in a spot where you're relaxed, you've probably got more stress. It's certainly not a healthy thing, and certainly your thinking could be limited in a way because that stress level's getting there. The one below is where you're thinking of positive things like appreciation, thankfulness, gratitude, all those really good positive thoughts and emotions that relax you, that calm you down. And when that happens, the neurology between the brain and the heart actually comes in sync, and you get this clean, nice, beautiful waveform as we're seeing there. This is research. It's been done. They've shown it. And HeartMath have created a little tool that you can use to measure this quite simply. The thing is, they've taken this to a lot of Fortune 500 companies, big companies, and they've done it. NASA even have used it to help calm their workers and get better results, better enjoyment out of their job for these people. Now, when we look at the method itself, there's 3 steps towards achieving this, and I've used this quite often myself. Been using it for over 20 years, and I've found it really helpful. I teach people in my coaching how to do this to help them relax, and even I make a benefit of teaching men this exercise, because one really helpful thing, a common thing that women say about men is they're just not present, that they can be talking with them, but they're somewhere else. Okay, they're just not there. They could be sort of like on their phone perhaps, or they're still on the video game, doing something. They're just not there with them. And they can tell, the women can tell. This is a great tool to get present and with the lady you're talking to. So first step is to focus on your heart. And the way we do that, some people want to put their hand on their heart. That's okay. And you just close your eyes and you just think about your heart. And just think about how wonderful it is, how strong it is. Get a picture of it in your mind, beating away. Just think of that wonderful, all that blood flowing through it to feed every part of your body. All that good nutrition and oxygen going to every part of the body. This wonderful heart that you've been with all your life, it's been reliable. It hasn't, for most of us, hasn't had any fault at all. But some of us may have the minor things, but otherwise it's strong and it's going. And it's a wonderful thing. And as you get picture on that heart, just think of something you're thankful for right now. Think of something thankful. It could be something happened that day or this week, or perhaps in the past, maybe just something that you're thankful for that happened. And really just let yourself into that moment and feel it and be with it. And the third step in this is to think of something you're grateful for. Something you're grateful that is in your life. Could be person, friends, it could be work, it could be a job, it could be some of your hobbies, your interests, holidays, anything, whatever you're grateful for. And bring a number of those things. Think of them, associate into them, feel it, and bring it into your heart. The next one, bring it into your heart. And then the next one, bring it into your heart. Get about 5 things and bring it in. And once you've done that, you then quietly just open your eyes, and you should find that your coherence has improved, your heart coherence, and your appreciation and all of that positive stuff has given you a real different way of seeing things. And what you're seeing, you're now in your heart. That's the thing. I've got that at the bottom. Get out of your head and into your heart. The head has got all that craziness. Your heart is where the real world is and where you can find the answers that you're looking for. That's the most important thing. Really incredible tool. You can do this in a couple of minutes, easy, on the spot, anywhere. And I've done that. And it's really good at work. Use it a few times a day whenever you need to. This is one of the best things you can do to reduce your stress and become more grateful, particularly in life. If you find it hard to relax during the day, use this method. See if that works for you. It's a great tool, and a lot of people have been helped from it. The second one is earthing, and there's a great definition here. Earthing is about having direct skin contact with the surface of the earth, whether you're barefoot or in hands or other parts of your body. Okay, some part of your body is touching the earth, so you might want to sit in a chair with your feet on the ground, walk around perhaps on the grass, and a half-hour walk or something if you're able to. Where this comes from is it's looking at free radicals within our body. So they're oxidants, if you like, at a molecule level. It's electrons that are unbalanced, that usually like have a positive or negative part, but there's one missing, so they go looking to be balanced. And in doing that, they cause damage and inflammation to other parts of our body, and also it also can create disease as well. So this, you can get antioxidants in vitamins and things. You get it through your food. There's a lot of food that's promoted as great superfoods. They are all helpful. Another good way is earthing. And this has been one method that really, really, really helps. And it's a bit of an electrical thing, like a lightning in a thunderstorm starts up in the cloud and bang, hits the earth. It's that sort of similar thing. It's that current or that energy flow from one to the other, and by standing on the ground, you're doing that. Now think of the people many years ago who were roaming around the jungles, or just tribal people. and they wouldn't wear shoes. They just roamed around with bare feet. Well, they naturally had this effect. But we today wear rubber sole shoes, and that insulates us from the ground. So we're not getting the effect as best we could. So by going out and using this technique, it may become something that's beneficial for you. So there's the inflammation through stress. We know it's increasing, and stress does cause more of these free radicals. And they'll flow through the body. Being connected to the ground helps to eliminate those and hence reduce the inflammation and also your stress as well. It's something else that's not going on in your body. A really helpful technique that is not going to cost you anything either. There are commercial places that have special little mechanisms that allow you to be connected to Earth. You can Google those to see them, but otherwise go for a walk and sit outside in the sun. One example that I saw on the Tour de France bike race 2 or 3 years ago is in the commentary they mentioned one team, and one team was using earthing as part of their recovery method each day. So each day they would do a warm down as well as the earthing. And they commented that what they were noticing, or had been doing it for a while, is that whenever they went into earthing quite regularly, their recovery time shortened. And to me, I thought, wow, I knew exactly what they were talking about. It's just an interesting one that's come into the sporting field that this team actually tried it. One more comment that I'll mention that Dr. Jed mentioned in his book about this is that if you're taking blood thinners at all, maybe for a heart condition, check with your doctor first. And he mentioned that in the book. He's a doctor, and I've seen it in other reports as well and studies on earthing. So it might be something, just more evidence, I think, that there's something in this that we need to really consider and have a look at. Earthing is a very positive thing that can really help you, and I trust you've learned something out of that. Just a couple of methods there with the heart coherence and earthing that you might like to consider in managing stress. So in our work today, we've looked at stress. It can be either good or bad. In the good side, it's a low-level stress. It can get us motivated. Some people are very motivated with that little bit of stress. It can also contribute to mental health challenges, though. Once the stress level gets up, and even over prolonged time, it can affect your mental health. So be aware of that. And we're able to control some stresses. The low-level stuff, we're able to see things a bit differently, and it can alter and lower the level of stress. And that's something to consider as well as you go about your day. And above all, if you're needing some help, if your stress is getting below and you're really not able to function as well as you can, seek that help that you need. And I'll just put up some phone numbers here for Lifeline. There's Beyond Blue, there's Men's Line Australia, and of course No to Violence. Give them a call if you need to talk to someone. I've put my email down there too, so you can email me, give us your phone number, and I'll call you back. And you need a chat, we can have a chat. I'm offering free coaching to men this November, so please take advantage of it if you need to, or if you'd like to. Even just not necessarily for stress stuff, it could be just life stuff, and you want to have a chat, by all means, I'm happy to chat with you. That's really cool. That's awesome. It's been a wonderful day. Lots of information. I trust you've taken it in. Give it some time and go over the videos again and again if you need to. Next week, we will be looking at relationship magic, the wonderful relationships, and I'll be introducing or giving you some stuff that I've learned through my studies, through my reading, through my practical work with relationships, and a little bit different perhaps to what you've heard before, and that's all good. I look forward to bringing that to you next week. Have a great week, won't you? Bye-bye.